Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is good to be here with you. I hope wherever you are this early afternoon, late morning, hope you're having a great day, a good Wednesday. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Very glad to talk today about Envase Business Intelligence, which is also called Envase BI. Really beneficial business intelligence that can help you make your company even more effective. So we look forward to spending a little time with you, showing how this works, telling you about the background, of course, test driving the thing with my colleague Basma, who's going to join us in just a moment. My name is Kevin McCahill. I'm Director of Customer Success here at Envase. Happy to meet all of you and very excited to talk about this incredible product that's going to help your business grow and allow you to very quickly make efficient and strong decisions in your business, which will be a benefit to all. So let's talk about a little some of the things we're going to cover here in our brief agenda. Who is Envase? What is BI? What is Envase Business Intelligence that we're offering? How is it going to help? And of course, as always, we want to see how it works. So as I mentioned, Basma in a moment will show us around, give us some examples, and help us through exactly how we can add this to our business to see the benefit. And most importantly of all, getting your questions answered. So if you go, you'll notice we're using GoToWebinar, a very nice program. Make sure you can hear and see me nice and clearly. And if you look in that GoToWebinar control panel, you'll see there is a question section, hopefully highlighted here on the page. Please type any questions that you might have. Ask those questions. We want to help. We want to be able to answer any and all questions that you might have to make sure you fully understand. Here's a chance to hear from the experts who use this every day. So make sure any questions you have are answered so that we can get you up and rolling with this fantastic analytics tool, data visualization tool to help your business grow. Okay, so that's our starting point. We'll talk briefly about Envase, but before we even jump into this, I have a poll. I'm going to start this poll. Let's launch this poll to you. Go ahead, folks. Please fill this in. Tell me, how do you currently use business intelligence? Do you have another tool that you're using, something you found online perhaps? Are you your own tool? Is it your gut that tells you, I know how this works, I know what I need to do? Or are you showing up because, and this is good to be honest too, I have no idea what this is. People have talked about BI, people have talked about business intelligence. I hear about these tools, but I don't really understand what it is or how it works. And if that's you, no problem at all. It's helpful to know that as well. So please fill it in, tell us how you fit in and how you want to use these tools. Give you one more minute. And as you're looking at that, you can see on the screen, the slide here, who we are. Who is Envase, the company you're working with here? Well, we have hundreds upon hundreds of years of experience in supply chain and transportation management. A lot of fantastic tools here, but most importantly, innovative tools as we work hard to move forward, to take the technology available, move it into the next century, move it forward so that all of us can take advantage of digital tools, a digitized drayage, as the slogan goes, and to create really valuable and useful technology. So that's what we are here to do, and that's what we're working very hard to provide to each and every one of you in your businesses to help you grow, to be effective, and to find that success. Let's share the results. Are you interested? Let's share the results. Happy to share that. There you go. So a lot of you, it's your gut, your own notes. You look at those data points and it tells you what you need to know, other things. And some of us here are happy to learn and looking forward to learn, which I think is awesome. So let's get into it then. Let's talk about, and again here, just another slide here on what Envase is. We do automated order entry, optimizing technology, tracking, tracing, and EDI, and of course, so much more in our TMS programs. So a lot of valuable stuff here. I hope you're enjoying it now, using it, finding the value, and we work very hard to continue to show and build that value for you. So what comes next? Envase BI, Envase Business Intelligence. What is it? Well, it is taking all those data points, spreadsheets. We're all used to seeing spreadsheets with a million little numbers on it. But how do we turn that into something that's actionable, that we can take it and immediately see how we can change, adapt, grow, adjust? So using analytics to our benefit to visualize all this data so that quickly we can adjust. And Envase BI includes with 30 preset reports with the ability to customize and make many, many more, and let you see that insight quickly, as we'll see in just a moment with Basma. She walks us through this process. Allows you to have a lot of access to a lot of data and quickly help you make decisions, which of course is going to help your business be even more effective. So that is a basic view of what Envase BI is. And now, of course, the reason you're here, we want to be able to see it. So I'd like to invite my colleague, Basma. Basma, let's find your name here. I'm going to hand screen control over to Basma. You welcome. There she is.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, let's brief moment with the screen pulled up here.
All right. So you can see it now, right?
Excellent. Yeah, please take it away.
Okay. So this is the homepage layout. Once you sign in, that's what you'll be seeing. And you have several sections here. You have the section for favorites and the recent dashboards that you've opened. On the left here, there's this navigation panel with the links that you could go to. All of the dashboards and data sources you'll find here in the Explore menu. So this is all of the projects that you can find. You can change the view that you are seeing this, so you can change this to grid view. The data sources is a project that has all of the data within it, and if you're an Explorer user, then you would be able to use all of these data sources and create your own dashboards. So that is open to you. And all of the standard dashboards are located in this project. So these are all of the subcategories if you go in our standard dashboards folder. If I go back to Explore, I can see how I want to view my content on this site. So if you look here, we have about 31 standard workbooks or standard dashboards in our Tableau site. And then let's go to the standard dashboards. Let's go back here and view everything just together here. Okay. You can also use this search bar to search for anything. So instead of just trying to go into the different projects or the different folders, you can just search for maybe billing related revenue. So that will pull up all of the dashboards or all of the views actually that have this word in it. So that is a very handy tool to search for your workbooks. Okay. So let's start with our billing summary report that we have. All right. Okay, so this is the basic layout, especially up here at the top. This you'll find on all of our standard workbooks. You'll find the filters here on the top. You'll find the tooltip here. This is on all our default workbooks that tells you a brief description about this dashboard. And you also can see the data that's linked with this dashboard when it was last updated. So this one, you should be seeing this as the day before, so or today's date, because this refreshes daily. But this is because this is demo data, so it's not showing the most recent date. So as you can see here, these are the filters. I can change the values here. So for example, I could change this to only show August. So let's do it here. And then change this to the end of the month. You'll see the dashboard refreshes accordingly. You have the shipment type filter. You can choose which bill to companies you want to see. And these are just metrics and detail information. You can also use some of the visualizations within your dashboard as interactivity to further filter down the rest of the dashboard. So when I click on freight, it only shows us the freight information, and the rest, and the rest also applies with the other amount types. Okay, one other feature that's very useful. So for example, if I know that I'm using specific filter criteria and I want to save these selections so that whenever I open this dashboard again, I don't need to pre-filter or pre-select everything. So for example, I've changed this to August. Let's change the bill to company name to select everything and then apply. And then if I want to save this view, I go to this view original. I name this view August, just name it anything that's relevant to what you're doing, and then make it my default and save. So if I close out of this dashboard and then open it up again, I can see that the custom view that I've saved is opening by default. And you can create as many custom views as you'd like. So you could create one for the whole year. So based on all of your filter selections that you'd like to save, you can save as many custom views as you have. There's also another feature that you have is you could subscribe, which acts similarly to auto reports. So you can subscribe this to get this report to your email, on a specific schedule. You can select which days you want this to be delivered to you on your email, and you can also select if you want any optional message to be sent on with the email that you get. All right, and another feature you have is that you can download. So you can download all of this as an image. Data and Crosstab gives you the option to either download as CSV or Excel, and PDF and PowerPoint as well. All right. Okay, so let's go to another dashboard, the chassis usage. All right, so the chassis usage has multiple views within it. So the first one, this view shows you the usage of your chassis. So based on the outgate date range here, you'll see when this chassis was used. You can also, if you hover over the circle that signifies that this has been used, you can see further details. So what TMP it was or shipment it was used, and here as well you can see the last used, and this is just a generic field that tells you overall when this was last used, even if it's outside of the date range that you've selected. So even though I'm only looking at June here, I can see some of these chassis were later used afterwards as well. The next view is similar to the first one, but it has invoice within it as well. So you can see when the chassis was outdated and then when it was billed out. So if you see a large gap between the blue and the orange, then that means that it took a bit of time to bill out a specific shipment that was used. And the last one is another view for the chassis usage, but just with totals. So if you can see here, each time you see a 1 on a specific day, that means that chassis was used, how many times. So most of the time it's just used once per day. And then there's the total per week. So each total here is for each week in this date range. If I scroll way to the right, I can see the grand total. So that shows me how many times this chassis was used in this date range, or was, how many times it was allocated. All right. Okay, so let's go back to our dashboards. The next one I want to show you is the driver count dashboard. Okay, so this has two gauges or two count metrics that you can see. So the first one is how many active drivers that you have overall in your system. And the second one, how many drivers have driven in the last, n number of days. So this is a parameter that you could use and customize to see how many drivers have driven this specific in this specific day range. So for example, if I change this to see how many drivers have driven in the last 25 days, I'm using a big day number. So because it's the demo data is not so up to date, so you could use it in the last months and the last week. So it depends on how you want to see it. So here you see it turned red because my driver's goal that I can also set is 100. So whenever it's below the goal, it turns red. If it's above, then we're good and it's green. If I change the driver goal to 200, for example, you'll find that my active driver count turned red as well because it's now below the goal, the driver's goal that I've set. All right, going on to the next dashboard. The driver is not driving. There's also another feature that I wanted to tell you about is you can star a specific view. So I could just add this to the favorites. And as soon as I put this here and I go to the show favorites menu, I can see all of my favorites. So these are all of my favorited items that you can just directly view from here. And I will later show you how you can also view them from your homepage. So moving on to this one. This is like the opposite of what we were just seeing in the drivers count. So this is showing you how many drivers have not driven in the last number of days. So for this one, for example, this shows you how all of the drivers that haven't driven in the last 200 days. So it's a total of 127 drivers. If I change this to in the last 250 days, it's 45 drivers. So based on the number you type in here, you'll see all of the drivers that have not driven. So that gives you an indication who are the drivers that are not being used or are not doing any moves. You can also have the option to select if you only want to see active drivers or deactivated ones as well, along with driver, the driver type and all of the other selection criteria. All right. The next one I'd like to show you is, so we've seen the driver not driving, the high level assessment. I'm going to show this one as well. Okay, so the high level assessment touches upon many of the modules in Profit Tools. So you'll see it's a very large dashboard. It covers shipment analysis, company analysis, the driver analysis, billing analysis. So it has a lot of metrics, has a lot of charts, and you can adjust the invoice date, for example. Let's see for 2021. You'll see the numbers change based on the date criteria that you enter. So yeah, so for example, here in the shipment type analysis, you can see it broken down by shipment type or division. And you have all of these calculations, so shipment count, revenue, and so on. And then you have this broken down by division and then by category. So you can see the export to import one-way ratio in the specific date range that you've specified. And then the company analysis is just key metrics. So the total revenue in this date range, the driver revenue ratio, all of the personnel in your database and all of the drivers. And then in the driver analysis, you can see all of your drivers, the count, so how many are active, how many are deactivated. You can see the driver is broken down by the driver type, so how many are casual drivers, how many company drivers, and then you can see the driver turnover, how many drivers you hired in each year and how many you've terminated. And then continuing the driver analysis metrics, you have how much revenue each driver, or more so as an average driver revenue per week, and then how many miles, the average driver miles per week. And then finally, in this section, you'll find the revenue across time. So this is like the driver revenue trend in the date range that you have, and then the driver count, so how many drivers were working in specific date range. And finally, in this billing analysis section, you could see all of your employees that are billing out shipments. You can see how many shipments each employee or each user billed out, and you can see how many are billed out per day and the total revenue per day. And then these unbilled revenue, they're blank at the moment because there are no unbilled shipments or orders in our database. But these should show also values and metrics on, on how many unbilled shipments you have and the revenue that's still pending. And here is the revenue billed per day. So we can see like an average of how many dollar amounts you are billing per day. And this is how many, the event days is how many routed days within this year that we've selected and how many days were used for billing out shipments. Okay, so that's it for the high-level assessment. The next dashboard is the on-time performance. All right, so the on-time performance based on the date range criteria, the arrive date or the routed date here that you have, it tells you how many total appointments you have and how many were on time. And then there's the on-time ratio, so how much percent of those was on time. You can see, and just want to show you or to clarify, how do we calculate that an appointment was on time and how it's not? We look at the appointment date and time or the scheduled date and time and the actual arrival date and time. If the arrival date is more than half an hour late, or if it's after half an hour of the appointment date, then we consider it late. Otherwise, it's early or on time, so it's good. And there's also this other calculation. So the stop is how much time was spent on site by the driver. This is not specifically used to say if someone's on time or not, but it's just a visualization to show you how much time was spent on site. And if it's more than 1 hour, we color coded orange. And if it's more than 2 hours, we color coded red, like you see here. And then the driver information, location information is just the totals or the aggregations of our calculations, but one's broken down by the driver and the other one is broken down by the company name or the site name. All right. The next dashboard is the revenue. So this has multiple views within it also. So let's open the first one. And just a clarification, any dashboard that has multiple views within it, you can see as tabs here on top so that you can easily navigate through them. You don't have to go to the original workbook and then choose a different view. You can easily navigate through them here. So this one is showing you revenue versus cost, and it's broken down by different entities or by different groups. So this first one is grouped by company name. You have the revenue, and you have the cost. And sometimes when you hover over a specific value, you can see in the tooltip how this value is calculated. So this might be a bit related to how we store it in our database, but it gives you an indication of where we're pulling the cost fields, for example, and where we're pulling the revenue. And then there's the margin and the margin percentage, and this is sorted from highest to lowest. And each time I select a company, I can see here on the right the margin details. So I see it visualized how much the revenue and cost and margins are. And also another thing, whenever I click one of those, I can see where it compares to the different companies. So each time I click on a different company, I can see where it's located according to all of the companies here. Okay, so the next one is the revenue versus cost by division, basically the same, but broken down by division or shipment type. So again, each time you select a row, it reflects on the rest of the views within this dashboard. And the other one here is by container type. Same behavior, and this one is not sorted from highest to lowest, but you can do so in any tabular or in any value-based visualization. So I could do this, and it sorts it from highest to lowest, and I can do this from lowest to highest. All right, these are just basically the same data. They're the same information, but just visualized differently or grouped differently. This might show you a bit of more details. This one with the date and division. And this is also grouped differently. So you have the customer, both the customer and the division within the same visualization. All right. So the next one. The image modifications. All right, so this PC usage dashboard, this is based on the mod log date. So any change or modification that's logged into our database that you do on your orders or on your TMPs, we can cap, and depending on who's the user is who's doing this modification, we can do like total counts. So based on this modification date, mod log date range, I can see all of the active personnel and all of the active billing personnel. So these are just two KPIs at the top, but here is showing you all of the details. So I can see for each employee how many TMPs they've canceled, or how many TMPs they've billed, how many they've created, and then the grand total. So this will give you some kind of productivity indicator of, you know, how many orders or how many TMPs each user is finishing or is doing. And that takes me to also another dashboard that's a bit similar, which is called the image document image modification. Okay, so this rather looks at your uploaded images based on the date criteria here. So I'm just using a large date range because this is because of the demo data that's not very recent. But here you can see all of your uploaded images, and they're broken down by type and by the user who uploaded them. And then you can see the trend over the year. You can further use those bar charts or bar graphs to filter down the details that you see here on the bottom. So if I just click proof of delivery, I can see only the proof of delivery uploads. And the same with the user, if I only want to see the PTF users. I just click on this. And these are also, in addition to the filters already also existing at the top, but this is just for easier access. All right. I think I've gone through all, so there are a lot of standard dashboards that we have. I've gone through the ones that I wanted to show you. So I guess if anyone has any questions or would like, have comments about anything.
First of all, Basma, thank you very much. A lot to get through, and you did it very nicely, walking us through a number of different scenarios there. And we do have a couple of questions here, and I appreciate Ryan and Gavin, do you appreciate your patience? I wanted to make sure Basma could answer it, the professional here. So, question from Ryan: can Profit Tools be tied to Power BI through an API.
Can you say the question? So Profit Tools.
Asking, does this? I'll put it this way: does this technology is only through Tableau, correct?
Yeah, this Tableau is a BI tool, and Power BI is another BI tool. So this is just outside of the realm or with the what we're doing with Tableau, but basically yes, you can, but I'm not sure of the. So this is not related to my department to actually say that yes, we can do it through an API. Just specialized here in integrating with Tableau and showing you the data through Tableau, not Power BI.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, Ryan, we are working within Tableau here specifically.
Just to add to that too, if I can, this is Nate, Profit Tools.
Nate,
yeah. So Ryan, in the past, there's been a couple of customers that had Power BI, and we were able to create maybe an export import file. So I'll make a note and look into that for you and see what our capabilities are. If you end up, choosing Power BI because maybe it's the best fit, I think we may have some sort of capability there.
I appreciate that. A question from Gavin: would it be possible to see an example of an exported Excel sheet of the summary report?
An exported Excel sheet?
Yeah, of a summary. So everything can be exported into Excel, correct?
Yes. Yes, that's correct. You can. So I'm not sure if you can still see my screen.
I can.
Okay. So, for example, just to give you a quick overview of how we do it. So if you go to the download here, the data and the cross tab. So if I click data, you can see it as you can download all of this as a CSV or as a text file. So this is one format that you can download. And the other option is the cross tab, which gives you an option to either choose Excel or CSV. But in this option, you'll have to specifically choose which view you want. So if you look here, we have the invoice detail, we have the shipment, the total shipments, child shipments. These are all different views within the dashboard. I'll have to go and specifically say, for example, I want this invoice detail and I want to export it as Excel. If I click download, it downloads as Excel. This information.
Excellent. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. And another good question here from Gavin. For the Profit Tools usage report, does it also show what modifications were created by the user?
Only the modifications that are captured by Profit Tools in the database. So if you change a specific field value, no, this is not captured by Profit Tools. So only the things that you see in your mod log window. Other than that, no, we won't be able to show that because it's not there. It's not saved.
Okay. Ben is asking, how is the data updated? Is this, we would consider this in real time, or how often do we see that?
It's not real time. It refreshes daily at about 5 a.m. in the morning, or after midnight till 5 a.m. It depends on what time zone you're in. So yeah, it won't be real time, but it will show you up till the day before. So that's how recent it shows at the moment.
Yeah, and to that point, what I also noticed, and Basma touched on this, there's nice email automation. So essentially that data can be waiting in your inbox as you arrive to the office that next day, which is a really nice function to have available. A couple of questions about the cost. So this is not part of the existing Profit Tools you have. This is an opportunity to add this on to what you currently have available as part of a subscription model. So this is an extra but very valuable tool that can be added to your business. Any other questions that we have available here? Excellent. So again, Basma, thank you very much. I'm going to take the screen control right back so we can, I want to put up this window. Thank you, Basma, for being here, for walking us through all that. I really appreciate you taking the time. There we go. I wanted to put this window up for everyone so that hopefully y'all can see that. Contact information, email address, phone number, where you can continue to learn more. And also I want to throw up one more little poll here before we close out today. How you feeling about this? Are you interested in getting started? From what you've heard, you want to learn more? Click that yes box. If you're still thinking about it and would still like someone like my man Nate, who we got to hear his lovely voice a minute ago, to talk with him about that more, please do note that as well. We have the information about the costs involved, subscription, how it works, and of course, how we can customize it, specialize it to you. We talked about those basic, the many reports that are there, but of course, there's the ability to add many, many more to customize to exactly to your need. So please fill out that, add that note in the poll here. You see the contact information, and we too, if you click one of those boxes there, we'll make sure to reach out to you and we can answer any questions that you might have. If you're already working with Nate, you're working with Mark from the account management team in Profit Tools, they're great contacts too and can certainly fill you in and continue filling on that. Excellent. Well, again, I just want to say thank you all very much for being here. Thank you to my colleague Basma. I'm going to close. I mean, I can leave that up here. Make sure everyone gets a chance. Thank you to all of you for taking the time to be here, for supporting us here at Envase, for as we continue to grow and offer even more fantastic technology and tools for you. So we want to make sure this is available to you. And as always, we're happy that you're here. Hope you all have a great rest of the day. We recorded this as well, so if you'd like to come back later and rewatch some of these parts, certainly we're happy to do that. Again, you can use that contact information on the screen. So thank you very much for your time. Hope you all have a great rest of the Wednesday, great afternoon. And thanks again for being working with here at Envase. All right, everyone, take care. Thank you.